Hi, welcome to day 8 of the Move and Write series. Today's theme is space. Space. So we're going to be creating some space all throughout our bodies, mainly focusing on the hips. The hips are definitely a place where we hold a lot of tension, carry a lot of our emotional and energetic baggage, things that weigh us down. So mainly focusing on the hips, but you're definitely going to feel very physically spacious after this practice and be in just a beautiful physical place for reflection on our journal prompt. So let's start today on our backs in Supta Baddha Konasana, which is reclined bound angle pose. So lying down on your back, bringing the soles of the feet together. It might be helpful here to maybe put some pillows underneath the knees if you need that for support, or if this is too much of a hip opening for you, you can slowly just push your feet towards the front of your mat until it feels comfortable for you. Taking some deep breaths here. Landing into this moment on your mat. And already starting to create some space in the inner thighs, in the inner hips in this position. Maybe here you also practice taking up space on your mat. So maybe stretching your arms out really wide, not staying confined to this rectangle shape of the mat. Having parts of the arms be on the floor. Feeling what it feels like to take up space. And starting to visualize the breath moving in and out of your body. And if it's available to you today, breathing in and out through the nose. Creating that heat with the breath, keeping the lips sealed. And just picturing the breath as it starts to fill up below the belly button and move up into the stomach, the ribs, and the heart. Holding it here and visualizing it as it moves out of the heart, the ribs, the stomach, and the lower belly. Almost picturing like a balloon slowly inflating, filling up with air, and changing shape as it fills up. And the release of the balloon as it exhales and starts to decompress, get smaller. Recognizing how our torso is constantly doing this cycle of expanding, compressing, inhaling, and exhaling. No matter what's going on outside of us, things maybe we can control, things maybe we can't control. This constant cycle of life, of expanding and contracting, this cycling of new air, new life within our bodies is always happening. Take 5 more deep breaths in this shape. Really letting these breaths connect you to the source of life that you're constantly creating within yourself. This source of life that is within all living beings and connects us all. Bring the hands to the outer edges of the legs, to the knees, and push the knees together slowly like you're closing a book. Bring the knees into the chest. Wrap your arms around them and start to give your lower back a massage. Just rocking back and forth, maybe making some circles with your knees. Giving that lower back some love. Placing your left foot on the mat, crossing the right ankle over the left quad, coming in for a reclined figure 4 here. So this is where we really start to create some space in the outer hips. Bringing that right knee in towards the body, threading the needle, clasping either on the shin of that left foot or maybe behind the hamstring, wherever feels good for you today. And really using the breath to help create space. So a lot of the times the first few seconds in this position are going to feel a lot different than the last few. The way we can do that is using the breath to create space on an inhale, and then really letting the body move into that space, letting the breath move and fall into that space on the exhale. So there's even some movement in these stretches that might seem static. Just kind of rocking in and out with the breath. Start to straighten that left leg on the ground, keeping the right knee pulled into the chest. And slowly coming into a reclined spinal twist here. So twisting that right knee over the left side of the body, moving the hips over to create some room. And releasing here, letting gravity help you out. Really feeling the length of the body here. And noticing how much space the body can take up if we allow it. Rolling back onto your back, hug both those knees back into the chest just for a breath. On the exhale, straighten the right leg or put the right foot on the floor. Place the left ankle across the right quad, coming in for reclined figure 4 on the left side. So threading the needle with the arms, and once again clasping wherever is comfortable for you today. So in these stretches where we're creating space, especially in the outer hips, there is some discomfort there. Over time, we start to trust our bodies and learn the difference between discomfort and pain. Knowing when the discomfort is welcome and where it's welcome and to what extent. definitely translates off the mat as well to many situations in life. Sometimes discomfort brings about change and growth. And then also learning when discomfort isn't necessary, isn't serving us for a higher good. Start to straighten that right leg along the ground as you start to twist the left knee over the right side of the body. And either stretching that left arm out straight, maybe bending it into a cactus position, but trying to keep that left shoulder on the ground as much as possible. Maybe you need to adjust your hips to help that to happen. Not only does this shape breathe space into the spine, but also into the chest, across that left shoulder. Begin to roll back on your back, bringing both knees into the chest, and slowly start to take some spinal rolls here. So rolling up and down the length of your mat on your spine, really massaging the whole spine here. And when you feel ready, roll up onto the feet and come up into a standing position. Take a moment here to ground yourself, to feel rooted. We're going to take a little bit of movement here to get connected with our breath, connect our movements with our breath. So inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, grab the right wrist with the left hand and start to lean towards the left side, making your body in almost like a crescent moon shape. Taking one breath here. Exhale, arms back up to center. Inhale, reaching up towards the sky, grabbing that left wrist with the right hand this time, and exhaling into a crescent moon shape, leaning towards the right. Taking an inhale here. Exhale, arms back up to center. One more breath, reach up towards the top on an inhale. Exhale, folding over your legs. Inhaling up to a flat back. Exhale, hands back down to the mat and forward fold. Inhale, rooting to rise, lifting the arms up overhead. And exhale, folding over your straight legs. Inhaling up to a flat back. Exhale, hands back down to the earth and forward fold. Inhale, feeling the length of the body as you rise up, reaching towards the sky. And exhale, folding over those legs once again. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands back down to the mat. Inhale, rooting through the feet, lifting the arms up overhead. Take this flow on your own 2 more times, following your breath, your pace. Trusting that your body knows where to go. Knowing there's no right or wrong. When you feel complete, we will meet standing at the top of the mat with our hands at heart center in Anjali Mudra, prayer position. Feeling the heart beating, the little bit of heat we just created through our movement. Step out wide, facing the long side of your mat. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, thread the right arm underneath the left for eagle arms with the right arm down. Inhale, really lift up, lift that heart up towards the sky. And exhale, start to fold forward in wide-legged forward fold, keeping your eagle arms until you get to the ground and releasing. And taking whatever movements feel good in this wide-legged forward fold. Noticing where your body could use some extra space. And just curiously moving into that space. Taking the breath with you. Seeing what you can create. Coming back to center, slowly start to walk the hands out, kind of coming into a wide-legged downward facing dog. So walking the hands out in front of the long edge of your mat as far enough feels comfortable. And then just start to send the hips back. Just kind of feeling this different downward facing dog variation. Noticing how it's creating space in the hamstrings and the hips as well. Slowly start to walk the hands back. Keep the left hand planted into the ground and start to raise the right arm up towards the ceiling as you twist your body to the right side. For a wide-legged forward fold twist to the right. Doing whatever feels good with the right arm here. Maybe you make some circles to really get in the full rotation of that shoulder. Or maybe you bring the arm around and grab the outside of your left thigh for a heart opener. Opening up the chest. One more breath here. Exhale, bring that right hand down to the ground. Start to walk towards the right foot, twisting to face the back of your mat and framing that right foot with both of your hands. Place the back knee down. Inhale, arms up for a low crescent lunge. And exhale, send the hips back for a half split hamstring stretch. Inhale, coming back onto that foot, low crescent lunge, arms rise up. Exhale, sending the hips back, coming up on that front heel, half split. Start to take this little flow at your own pace. Once again, following your breath, seeing where your body is wanting to create space right now. What's feeling tight? What's feeling closed off? Following those parts of you that feel curious. Remembering this is your practice. There's no right or wrong. Coming back to this low crescent lunge with the arms up. Bring them down to frame the front foot. See if you can come up off of that back knee. It's coming up on the ball of the back foot, rising up to a high crescent lunge here. Feeling strong, rooted and grounded in this powerful pose. Feeling the strength of the lower body as the upper body reaching up towards the sky, long spine. On your next exhale, start to fold forward over a straight front leg for a pyramid pose. Both legs straight here, both toes facing the back of the mat. Leading here with the chest, with the heart, pressing down into that front big toe mound. Once again, moving with the breath to continue to create space. Sort of an active, static stretch. Slowly start to walk the front foot out so you can fit both hands on the inside of that foot. Coming back down on the back knee. Coming into a lizard lunge here. So both hands are on the instep of that front foot. The back knee is down. We're pushing forward with our hearts. Feeling a big stretch on the front hip of that back leg. If you want to start to feel something in the outer hip of the front leg, you can come over on that knife edge of the front leg, of the front foot. Maybe even come down to your elbows. Kind of just moving into this space here. Once again, breathing in the discomfort and knowing when enough is enough. Knowing the difference between discomfort and pain. Come up on the hands. If you're on the knife edge of that front foot, place the foot back on the ground. Rooting through that back foot to come off of the knee. Bringing the arms up, rotating towards the long edge of your mat to star pose. And exhale, bringing that left arm underneath the right. Well, eagle arms with the left arm underneath. Inhale, back bending a little bit, reaching the heart up towards the sky. And exhale, forward fold into a wide-legged forward fold with eagle arms, releasing the arms as you get to the ground. Noticing the space that you've created in the right side, right part of your lower body as opposed to the left. Just noticing the difference here. Now it's time to even that space out. Place the right hand on the ground, right underneath your shoulder. Start to lift the left arm up towards the sky, twisting to the left. And once again, finding what feels good with this left arm here. Maybe you do circles once again. Full range of motion in the shoulder. Or maybe a bind feels good, so taking that left hand to the outside of the right quad, the outside of the right hip. Or maybe just reaching up towards the sky. One more breath here. Bringing that arm back down to meet the right and start to walk towards the front edge of your mat where your left foot is. Turning the toes in that direction and framing that front left foot. Placing the back knee down and inhaling up to a low crescent lunge. Exhaling back into a half split hamstring stretch. Inhaling up, reaching up towards the sky, low crescent lunge. And exhaling back, straightening that front hamstring. Following your breath with this flow. Following your body with this flow. Really releasing any tension to let the body create space, to let it take up space. Going through this flow one more time. Meeting in that low crescent lunge with the arms up. Exhale, bringing the hands down to frame that front foot, coming up on the ball of the back toe, lifting the knee off the ground, rising up for a high crescent lunge here. Once again, taking a moment to feel the strength and the power in the lower body, connecting you to the earth, holding you up as you reach up and lengthen towards the sky. On your next exhale, start to straighten that front leg, maybe bringing the back foot in a little bit for pyramid pose. Both legs straight, toes facing the front of the mat, folding over that front hamstring. Once again, maybe you need to adjust by bringing the back foot in, or maybe even widening that back foot to give you more space to move in these stretches. Pushing down through the big toe mound of that front foot, pulling that left hip back as you lead with the heart. Maybe even bending the knee a little bit as you inhale, and then really pressing away from the earth as you exhale. Start to come back down on that back knee, moving the left foot to the left so both hands are on the instep of that left foot. Lizard lunge on the left side. So once again, leading with the heart, pushing the heart forward, really feeling the stretch on the front right hip. And if you'd like to get into that outer left hip, so the outer hip of the front foot, start to come on that knife edge of the left foot, opening it up out towards the left. Maybe even coming down onto the elbows here. Moving with the breath, flowing with it as it starts to fill up the space in these tight places. One more breath here. Coming back up onto the hands, sending that left foot back to meet the right, and send the hips back for downward facing dog. Wow, my lower half feels very, very spacious. I can tell in this shape. Feels good to have created that space. Start to send the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it up in between the hands. We're coming into pigeon pose here. So bringing that back knee down and bringing that right leg up towards the front of your mat. Trying to get it, the goal is to get it parallel with the front of the mat, but that is a very difficult position to be in. So just making that the goal, seeing where your leg ends up. It's a stretch for the outer right hip. So once you get comfortable in this position, maybe placing a pillow or a block underneath that left hip is a good help for stability. Start to take a breath in. Start to lean forward. Once again, leading with the heart, taking your time, bowing down into this pose. Maybe for some of you, you stop right here. But once again, if you want to continue moving forward and fold over that right leg, move with the breath, not compressing the lower back, taking the time to fold into this deep, deep hip opener. Three more breaths here. This is definitely one of those positions where the battle between discomfort, wanting to flee from the discomfort, see if you can breathe into it. Once again, knowing this is discomfort, not pain. On your next exhale, slowly start to walk the hands up. Sending that leg back into downward facing dog. Once again, just kind of stretch it out. And then swinging the left leg up, taking pigeon pose on the left side. So bringing that left knee almost like to the left elbow, coming down, placing that back knee down. My left hip is a lot tighter than my right, so my heel is a little bit closer to my groin on this side. And once again, really starting to lean forward slowly. in this posture, moving with the breath, leading with the heart, and eventually surrendering. Learning how to utilize the breath in this shape to breathe into the tight spaces, the places of discomfort. We remember that when we're moving through challenges, times that just feel anxious and tight and uncomfortable, we don't feel free and spacious. We always have the breath to help create space within ourselves physically, and that does tend to translate mentally, energetically, emotionally. Three more breaths here. Slowly start to walk the hands back, sending that leg back into downward facing dog once again, just to stretch it out. Bring the knees down, come to a seating position, so kicking the heels out, coming to a comfortable seat on your mat, pausing for a moment. Placing the hands either up towards the sky or hands on the knees. Feeling open and spacious. Open to activities, new ideas, new ways of thinking. Meeting new people, meeting new parts of you, trying something new. We've created the space for it. You've created the space for it. And I honor you for that. Place the hands at the heart. Let's put them on the heart. So the right hand on the heart, left hand on top of the right. One of the most sacred spaces. The light and the dark within me truly sees, honors, and loves the light and the dark inside of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for this gentle practice of creating space. The journal prompt that I'm going to leave you with is, I enjoy filling my space with. And that could be, of course, any kind of space. Your physical space, your mental space, your energetic space, anything. I enjoy filling my space with. Thank you so much for joining me today. It truly, truly just, my heart is full. My heart is full. So thank you. I love you. Bye.